How's it going, everybody? I'm Josh, K6ARK, and I have a problem. Simple video for today, but I've got a problem. It's a good problem, but a problem nonetheless. Here is my Elecraft KX2 bag. This is that shack-in-the-box bag that you might have purchased if you have one of these. Mine's getting a little old, and I've never even used this elastic, but it's already getting pretty blown out. That's not the point of this video. I'm going on a backpacking trip, and I need to put this on a bit of a diet. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to lighten up this mic. This is actually a fantastic microphone that Elecraft bundles this with. It's absolutely worth it. It's a good mic. That's not the reason we're upgrading it. We want to go to something a lot smaller. So I'm going to take this out here just as an example. But I've got a kit from K6ARK. Link is in the description if you want to check out some of his projects. And he has a mic kit, which I'll open this up and show you in comparison to the size here of his kit, which is kind of funny. Is I'm going backpacking with Adam, which is the reason why I'm building Adam's kit to get a smaller mic. So is this fortuitous? I don't know. Keep that. That's the instructions. Don't lose that. But here's here's what his mic will look like, the body of the mic when it's done, in comparison to this Elecraft mic. Now, I'm sure the elements are different and there's different engineering that went into this, but you can see the vast difference. And then we won't have this slinky cable. We'll have a nice, simple, aux cable, kind of like this one. And that's what we'll be using on this backpacking trip. Unfortunately, I have not improved my CW enough that I'm comfortable in not having a microphone to at least make contacts there. I'm going to try to do an activation completely on Morse code. But as a backup, I am going to take a mic for single sideband. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to build this kit. Very straightforward. His kit will support 2 different radios, at least as labeled, but this will likely work with other radios as well. He has a wiring for the TrueSDX, and he has a wiring for the KX3 or KX2. Depending on where you mount the electrodes or the different pads to the talk or PTT button and your socket connection is going to change which radio this works for. So we're going to be working off of this one. I'm going to get my handy marker out here really quickly just so I kind of tell myself don't do this one, right? So we're going to black that out a little bit or red that out because I've definitely been known to look at the wrong thing while I'm in the middle of doing a project. I think the first thing we're going to do, at least the hard part, and I think that's where we should always start with soldering, is find out where we need to be with this mic element and then solder the leads onto this. And then once we have those leads, then the easy one is going to be the PTT and it's going to be the socket, right? So that's what we're going to focus on right now. In the kit, he's got a small piece of wire. This is what you would use for like a speaker or something along those lines. And I'm going to do it straight up. I'm just going to use this tile. It's kind of like a little heat shield for my mat here, just so I don't damage it. And we're kind of going to do it all in one little shot here and going to test out how it works with my radio and against my antenna. So let's take a look and make sure we've got the right ends of this. This microphone, yep, you can see it. Let's get in real close here so you guys can see it, but this is the mic right there. Can you see the lines there? See the little lines on the left-hand side? And the lines on the left-hand side, we're going to make it line up and then do our soldering like that. So 2 leads, one on the left hemisphere moon-shaped thing and one on the right hemisphere moon-shaped thing. We don't have a lot of space to work with here, and we know that the element is going to go up top, and we got to get all the way down here, which is not very long. So I'm going to maybe cut a piece about yay big, and we're going to solder those 2 pieces into place like that. So let's take our little piece of mic half there and our speaker magnet wire, and we'll make a little cut about like that. Yeah, like that. And we'll do the same again. So we have 2 close to the same size mic cables. All right, soldering for this is very fine work. You don't need a lot of pressure here. That's it. And just so it's out of the way, I'm going to solder it in place right now. I don't want to lose anything, so I want to tack these all up, get them out of the way, make it easy for myself. Okay. That's connected. Okay. Now, do be careful not to solder to the outer edge here. It's going to affect one of these. I'm not sure which one, so just be careful and not do that. And we're going to solder or strip the other end here. Hard to see it, but yeah, it definitely stripped it. Add a little bit more solder right here. Not a lot, I'm just adding a little bit to help out, that's all. It's a little too close to the other side, so I'm going to resolder it. Okay, that's on there too. All right, next piece, we're going to go from the leftmost pad to, oh, you know what, we're just going to make multiple runs. That's probably the best way to do it, and then we can just circle them all together through the holes on the junction there, on the socket. Let's just do it that way. That's going to be a lot more effective, I think, through the long run. And this is going to be a bit shorter because we're going from the PTT button. So the PTT slides in like that, about that, and comes straight down. So if we've got it like that, I guess the PTT doesn't matter as much because we're just jumping the connection. So keep that in mind. So we're going to go about the same length we did the last one, a little bit shorter. Adam gives you enough wire that you could screw this up probably 2 or 3 times and you're still going to be fine. Okay, let's see, did I screw up? I think I made one of the cables a little, nah, it's fine. One of the wires is a little short, but not enough to be a problem. You might be able to go in here and fold over or just kind of dab it onto the iron like that and have it stick. In fact, that's what we're going to try to do. So take a bit of solder on the end there. And we're going to come in, tin our wire a little bit. Okay, that wire's on. Next one, I'm going to flip this guy over. Loading up the soldering iron like you would a paint brush almost here. Consulting our socket here and our diagram. So let's get our diagram back in here. The socket needs to be aligned with the long piece towards the back, and and 2 of the wires go to the long piece, and then the rest of the wires go to 1 on each side, PTT on the left and the other microphone wire on the right. Right? Yes, I think so. So let's do a quick solder job or strip job here real fast. Now I got a bit more to have a handle on. These I made a little bit longer because I'm gonna go in the hole, if you will, here. Like that. Maybe. Let's straighten this wire a little bit. It's incredibly fine wire. Holy smokes, it frayed just a touch. So we're gonna go in there and twist it up again. Oh my gosh, it's so fine. Oh, I missed one. Jeez. Hypothetically, this should be the easiest part, but if you have not great eyes, then you may be struggling a bit at this part. Try that again. Okay, I'm going to fold that over and get that out of the way. And then the next one is the PTT. The lower side needs to go through this hole as well, so I'm going to straighten out these guys. And we're going to go through the hole. And I'm going to push those wires up as well. Now with them seated, since I'm not... Ah, no, I lost it. I lost it. Come back. Okay. Since I got them both through the hole, I'm going to take this opportunity to just solder it. So how am I going to solder that? I'm going to clean off my iron like so. I'm going to hold the heat. Be ready with your solder. I'm going to apply heat and then feed solder in. And that should do it. Yep, it did. Perfect. See, both of them are completely tinned now. Solder, you can see it right there. Right? Right. All right, and then now it's just really a matter of just cinching all this up. So you can see this wire pretty much just goes to this next piece, and this wire goes to that piece, and that's the whole thing. And then we're going to test it out and see if we can maybe get on the air with it even. Wouldn't that be fun? That's the idea, right? That this all works on a radio. So let's get this through the hole. Okay, barely hanging on there. So again, we're going to go quick. I'm going to put the soldering iron on it, feed the wire in, the solder, and take it out. That's it. That's all you're going to do. These parts are pretty small, and this wire is incredibly thin, so you don't want to overheat anything. You don't want to do anything like that. So I'm going to do this again now, feed it through the hole, fold it back to the best of my ability. I'm going to turn this around now because this is going to be a problem with the iron. And, oop, don't lose the wire there. All right, good. Gonna hold down right there and feed in some solder. Not a great connection, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna pinch over the wire that's there, and we're just gonna come in and reheat the whole thing. Good. All right, so hypothetically, this is a microphone now. I can plug in here, PTT, it should work. How do we know? Well, we got to test it. So that's what we're going to do right now. We're going to break out my KX2. Important step, guys, when you're doing this kind of stuff and you're having lots of fun building kits and all that, and you go to test things, don't forget to plug in your antenna. Okay? Really important. No matter what you do, don't hurt your radio trying to, you know, build up a kit here. So I've got my antenna connected. Here's my KX2. Nope, wrong one. And we're in the wrong mode. All right, let's get off their frequency a little bit. Oh, come on. All right, hold on. I'm going to turn this off for a second, get it seated. Maybe plug it all in, then do that whole thing. So let's get it all seated in here. What's going on? I'm pushing way too hard than it should be needed. I'm going to assemble part of this because I have a feeling... Oh, I made my wires way too long too. I didn't assume that the body was going to be that big, but anyway, we'll sort it out. So let's get these guys out of the way. Let's get these guys routed over there. Oh yeah, these wires are way too long. Oh my goodness. he gives you a ton of wires, more than you need for sure. Okay, there's the microphone. Okay, it was just a really, really hard push. I just had to push really, really hard to get it in. That's all. All right, let's plug it in now and turn it back on. Excellent.
Wow, that's amazing. I do appreciate the great signal report. Have a great evening in 7th grade. This is Alpha Bravo 2 Sierra Golf calling CQ for a partial year.
Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu.
Kilo Golf 7 Lima November, you're 5-7 Colorado. And you're 5-9 in Oregon. I copy 5-9 Oregon.
Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu.
November Alpha Zulu, please try again.
Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu.
Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu, you're 4x4 here in Colorado.
QSL, thank you for the contact. You're 5x5 here in Cerritos, California.
I copy 555 into California. Thank you very much. I do appreciate every contact. Have a great night. Have a great.
Excellent. Well, it works. Great. So now we need to button this all up. And you might have noticed I have this sitting over here. Maybe some of you noticed. So this printer, I got a new 3D printer, and I think Adam's prints are just fine. But I like to add a little color to some of these things, particularly small things. So I'm going to go with this green PETG enclosure, and I'll swap this out just for, so I don't lose it. I mean, green, I don't know. Maybe that's a bad call, but anyway. So pull real hard, get it out, and let's swap the guts, and we'll do a bit of fine tuning, and we'll wrap it all up. So let's open this guy up. Maybe. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. There we go. Let's slowly, carefully pry this guy out of there. Okay. And let's use this guy. Like that. And like that. And like that. Looks like it goes in a specific way now that I'm seeing it all. There's spots on the 3D print to lock all these guys in so that, yep, they fit perfectly. Yeah, make sure you look at both sides of the print. It looks like it has slightly different routing for cables and wires and all that fun stuff. So now it's got a much tighter, much precise print. Adam's was the same way. I just wasn't paying attention when I homed it all. So now we come in here and boom. Maybe? I think we're pressing on some of the wires, so I'm going to open that back up. Yep, looks like that's exactly what's going on. Okay. Yep, there it is. All right, one last step. Well, now we're going to double check it again because I changed the fitting. So we're going to plug it back in, start it back up, and make sure we're still PTTing. Okay, we're PTTing. Kilo India. Okay, good enough. Kilo India 6 November Alpha Zulu test. And I do have monitor turned on, so we know at least it's getting the audio signal. All right, and boom, good. I'm going to add a bit of not hot glue, a bit of super glue to hold this all together. Just like that. Let me go get that super glue. In this case, I'm going to use gel. I'm going to give it that gel coat right now, just like you ladies all do when they go get their nails done. Just a little tappy, a little tappy. Okay, pretty much all lined up there. We're going to take our little screw and home it down, get it real tight. Don't too tight, you break anything. And there you go. There is the K6ARK microphone kit, the mini mic. Go to the link in the description to check it out. Look at that. Maybe I'll work some Poto while I'm sitting here. All right, guys, take it easy. Thanks so much for watching. 73.